Hey, I'm John Greaves III, and this is my wife, Naomi Greaves. We are the co-founders of Garage Gym Life, and it is the end of 2024. Hope you guys had a good Christmas. One thing that we do at the end of every year is kind of look back at the previous year, or at the past year, not the previous year. We look back at the year and kind of look at lessons learned, and then we also look at the coming year and project to, and that helps us to plan what products we're going to review and how we set up our home gym. So we decided to let you guys into our process, and we're just going to talk about some of the favorite products that we reviewed this past year.
Sounds good.
All right, so first thing is, what was your favorite barbell that we got in 2024?
So my favorite barbell is going to be this one right over here. It is the RipFit barbell. It did come along with the RipFit hip thrust, but this is not, I don't use it just for hip thrust, honestly. I've used it for RDLs, I've used it for upright rows. Anything that is, I'm going to need to choose any kind of accessory work, I've used this bar. And honestly, this really helped out when it came down to hip thrusts. It made me feel a little bit more comfortable and confident when I was actually doing hip thrusts.
To be honest with you, I don't really have a favorite bar of 2024. I guess I could cheat a little bit because my favorite bar I actually got in December of 2023, and that's this 45-pound knurled axle bar from Gorilla Strength Equipment. I like it because it is knurled, it's got markings on it that match the markings for my powerlifting bar, and it is a great training tool that I can use for like close grip benching or even normal hand spacing benching, but using a thick handle bar because it has a 2-inch shaft. So that is my favorite bar, but I didn't get it in 2024. So if you're gonna make me say 2024, the only bar that we really got in 2024 was this Living Fit bar. And what stops it from being like one of my favorite bars is, to be honest with you, this is more of a weightlifting, maybe CrossFit focused bar. So it's got a thinner shaft, and also it's a 20-kilogram bar. It's not a 45-pound bar. So there's a little bit of math in there, which is just a little bit too complicated for me to want to deal with, especially since the bar already has a thinner diameter. So it's not super comfortable for me to grab if I'm doing something like bench pressing, overhead pressing, or any kind of pressing movement. So I tend not to use this bar as much. I tend to use it more for like just general all-around stuff that just comes up in the moment. What is your favorite non-barbell piece of gym equipment?
Ooh, okay. So I am going to take it down to 2. So I'm going to go ahead and point to the RipFit hip thrust. This is a piece of equipment that helped me in regards to being able to do a weightlifting move that I always avoided because I didn't want to have to do it off the bench. And this actually made it possible. However, my number one is our Bells of Steel cable tower with the selectorizer stack. I use this quite a bit. Every time I'm working out, this is implemented into my workout. Even if it's movements where I should be using a bar or the power rack, I'll go ahead and I'll use the cable stack. So obviously 1, 2. You didn't say I had a limit, so.
I did not. That is true. All right. So my favorite non-barbell piece of gym equipment, I actually was thinking about it a little bit. I said, I'm actually making this too complicated. It's this power rack. This is our current favorite power rack. This is the Iron Bull Strength PR2 power rack. And this thing is both of our favorite power racks.
Easiest to put together.
I think that we didn't even get instructions with it, and we would have put it together just off of the picture that you pulled up off their website.
If you want to see more about that one, the lake will be flying over our head. Yeah. You can watch that story.
That's an adventure. Yeah. But I will say that it ended up being our favorite power rack out of all the ones that we reviewed this year. And we are seriously contemplating just making this our forever rack because we like it so much. Mm-hmm. I love the fact that it is compatible with attachment from different brands. Mm-hmm. So for example, these are Bells of Steel Roller J cups right there that I have the bar on. These are Crandall Fitness monolift arms. And I use both the monolift arms and these Roller J cups a lot in my training. And I love the fact that they're compatible with this PR2. Storage is great with this because this is a 75 millimeter by 75 millimeter rack. I'm able to store this landmine attachment here and then put it on any one of the posts so that we can use the landmine anywhere we want. That makes the most sense, especially if my wife and I are training at the same time. And again, one more product, I was able to mount the Bells of Steel seal rope pad, which I also really like, back here so that it's out of the way when we're not using it. This rack is nice and deep. It's got plenty of space, feels nice and roomy. I'm able to, you see, I've got a whole bunch of stuff mounted on here, including my legendary, in my mind at least anyway, cup holder.
So is that 5 that we just named off?
No, it's the rack. The rack is the favorite, but I like it because of all the things that it allows us to do, and in terms of storing stuff, and in terms of versatility with the training. So I really, really do love this rack. What's your favorite fitness app, since you're the tech person?
All right, so I've tried a bunch of apps, okay? But for 2024, I'm actually surprised to say this, but this is the app that made me give up my membership to an app I've been using for years, and it's gonna be the Ladder app. What I like about it is you have already a community that can cheer you on, but it also is one of those kind of apps that really motivates me, to be quite honest. So like right now I'm using the Ascend program. I'm using my journal with it. I'm seeing some progress with it, but it is the Ladder app, which I am really digging so far for 2024.
All right, so for me, my favorite app is the Pedometer Plus app because it keeps track of my steps. Cardio is not my favorite activity, but it's something I know I need to do more of, and so I made a commitment to start doing more cardio, and the best way for me to do that is by using an app. And what I like about the Pedometer app is it gives you monthly challenges, and you get badges for everything you accomplish. So, for example, it gave me a badge for 30 days straight of hitting 10,000 steps, and it gave me a badge. It shows me that my best all-time daily step goal that I hit was 20,234 steps. It tells me how many floors I hit every day. It tells me how many lifetime steps I've done. And for somebody who's not really into walking or any form of cardio, this is a game changer because it makes cardio more interesting, and because I'm competitive, I'm like, oh, I want to hit this goal. I want to hit this goal. I want to make sure I get the monthly goal. So it pushes me to it. So the Pedometer Plus app is my favorite fitness app. Yeah. What was your favorite recovery tool of 2024?
I mean, I've tried Bob and Brad's, their massage guns. I've tried the Normatec with their compression sleeves and the boots.
You fell asleep wearing
I did fall asleep with that one.
So
I did.
I'm going to say that probably pretty high up there.
I did. Who knows? This summer with cycling, I probably need to do it more because I want to get back to my threshold of where I was with cycling. It's a close comparative. I haven't fallen asleep with a massage gun, so it'll be Normatec.
It'll probably be it. No, you guys will never see it if she falls asleep with a massage gun, but I will cherish that video myself for my own personal collection. All right, so my favorite recovery tool of 2024 has got to be my HyperIce X knee sleeve, right? So it's over here, and I love this thing because it's easy to turn on, and once again, I can pair it with my phone, and then not only does it provide heat, but also cold, so I can use my phone to go through the different routines, and then I can wear it around, even though it's best to use if you're sitting down with your leg elevated. This thing is awesome because, like I said, I have knee issues, and so I can switch and put it on whichever knee needs love at the moment, and I can give it contrast therapy. I can set the time for 15 minutes, 18 minutes, 20 minutes, up as high as 30 minutes while I'm doing other things. So it doesn't interfere with, say, me listening to a podcast and running the HyperIce app to make the HyperIce X work. And so this is, out of all the things I've tried this past year, this is my favorite recovery tool. I even wear it in the car. If we're on like a long road trip and my knee starts bothering me, I'll put it on my knee and give myself some instant relief. So I absolutely love this thing. Since we brought up cardio a couple of times and you mentioned your goals, what's been your favorite form of cardio in 2024?
I utilize our treadmill, as you see, it's actually tucked away there, but I do have a walking pad in my office that helped me get my steps in this latter part of the year. I'm aiming for 10,000 steps a day with it, and I can do that while I'm in meetings or working on reports, so it's really, really good. Definitely want to be able to build strength again with my legs for cycling, so that cardio endurance. Ideally by summertime, I want to be able to get back to where I was, 60 to 80 miles on a weekend on the road bike again. So we do have the tools with the spin bike. Who knows what's going to happen in 2025, but to, again, be able to build that endurance.
Yeah. And you've got the Blitz bike coming, the Bells of Steel Blitz bike is coming,
Yep.
and so you'll see a review of that. So just watch for that review. It'll be coming soon
Exactly.
here on our channel.
Exactly.
But I do want to ask you though, what as far as we talked about like your favorite cardio tool. Well, actually, I didn't answer yet. I haven't answered my favorite cardio tool. So for me, it's been the treadmill. We did not get the treadmill in 2024, but I started using it more towards the end of 2023 and in 2024 a whole lot, again, because I've got the Pedometer Plus app. So that is, I would say, would be my favorite form of cardio. As far as fitness tech goes, I'm not the tech person, but my favorite form of fitness tech has been the Visp. So I was laughing. I was like, okay, who needs a shaker bottle that mixes stuff for you? And then you reviewed two different kinds of, what do you call them, like mixers.
Mixers, one
like,
that had the blender and then one that had the whisk.
And then we had the Visp. And what I like about the Visp compared to the other one you reviewed is the other one you have to flip upside down to use, whereas the Visp, I can use this in the car. And I find myself, basically, I'll put the ingredients in it before I go to sleep because I like to train when I first wake up. And I wake up, and first thing I do is hit the button and mix up my I mix up the potion, get myself ready to go. So this thing is awesome. I just got a replacement lip for it, and so I'm pretty happy about the Visp. So what's been your favorite form of fitness tech?
So I'm all about wearables. We actually got the Raycon headphones earlier this year.
I like those.
Started off with the fitness, which I still use quite a bit. Here it is on one side. I have the other one charging. Noise canceling, primo, whether I'm in the gym or even traveling, because I have to travel with work quite a bit. So I don't have to have those conversations on airplanes. But also the Raycon Everydays. Now, side note on the Everydays, unfortunately, they have stopped working. But again, my fitness is still going strong. Love these. And you never really liked any kind of Bluetooth headphone kind of thing.
But I like the fitness headphones from Raycon.
Yes.
Over the ears.
Over ears.
And they stopped working, but Raycon sent me another pair. I reached out to them and they said, boom, here you go, just like that.
Yeah, customer service is really, really good.
They're within the 1 year period since we've had them. So
Yeah.
I was really happy with those.
Yeah. The other thing though, to talk about wearable, going back to the walking pad, is even though with my Apple Watch, I take off the face of my watch and I actually have an ankle band. So while I'm walking, it's keeping track of my steps that way. Because if you're typing, you're not getting that momentum or that movement that your watch is counting for your steps. So I have it on my ankle. So that was another thing that I would say is a wearable piece of technology. It lets you utilize your technology a little bit more easily throughout the day.
I remember I came home one day and you were super excited about that scale over there. Is that considered fitness tech?
Well, it is not so much fitness tech, but what it is accountability tech.
Okay.
So this is actually the Worthington's body scan scale. Oh, and there you go. And what I like about it is personalized. So, and it has an app. So not only does it keep track of your weight, but it also does like your muscle to fat ratios. It keeps track of like your vascular health, your EKG, or I'm sorry, ECG, a bunch of other measurements, health measurements that will keep you knowing where your numbers are. Because remember, your health is not only by the number on the scale, there are other factors to take into consideration. So I got this, and it is HCA, not HCA,
HSA.
HSA.
Yeah, so you can use your health savings account to get it, which is how we got the Hyperrice products that we have.
Yes.
We used the money that was left over in our health savings account from the previous year.
And talking about, again, tech, this is also HSA compliant because I got this along with the scale. And what it is just your measuring tape, but sometimes you don't have someone there to tell you what your measurement is. It keeps track of it for you and it locks it in place. So again, when you are keeping track of your success or your weight loss or anything like that, it will keep track of it for you because again, there's an app for it too. I'm all about the apps.
There's a reason why we selected her for 5 minutes of fitness tech, and you guys just saw just a little bit of that. Let's talk about most underutilized product. It's not necessarily the thing that it's a bad product. It's just something that you realize that you should use more. All right. And for me, that would be, ironically enough, because I was excited when we got it, this Bells of Steel cable stack tower. So it's not that I don't use it at all, but I tend to use it mostly for like finishing exercises, so like tricep press downs, stuff like just at the end of the workout. But there's so many more things I could use it for, and ironically enough, the thing that made me realize that I could be using it for more stuff was when I was getting B-roll of you using it. I was like, oh, I saw you doing like, see the cable rolls with it. I saw you doing all kinds of stuff, and I was like you were doing a standing leg curl with it, and I was like, dang, I could be using this for more stuff. The challenge for me was in setting it up, but I was watching you move through how you use it, and I was like, man, I need to use this thing more because it really has a ton of potential for exercises that I need to be doing.
You know, I think about it again with the Iron Bowl power rack, which we love. We have the band pegs, and we have plenty of bands. I have not really effectively used the bands or the band pegs that I should, as well as the landmine attachment. Now that I think about it, because any kind of lever momentum or movements that I have to do, I'm either doing it off of the rack or again with the cable.
Gotcha.
So
that makes sense. What has been the most disappointing product? And I don't want to say disappointing like it sucked, but maybe it's the thing that you got that you had high hopes for, and then you're like, oh, well, I'm not as excited about it as I thought I might be after using it. So for me, that was the Iron Surge pull-up bar. And it actually was a little bit of a toss-up between that and the Barbell Bomb. So the Barbell Bomb is over here. And the idea behind this product is if you don't have a landmine, obviously we have a landmine attachment now, but when we didn't have a way to do landmine attachment, I got this and I said this might be effective. And you basically stick this end over the end of the barbell and then put it on the ground and you do landmines. The problem is when I was using it, I noticed that the end that's this end be on the ground, it would slide out from underneath me. And so then we ended up getting an actual landmine attachment, and this thing's just been kind of sitting over here in the corner where it's gonna be, because I'm just not super excited about it. But the Iron Surge pull-up bar actually mounts to the power rack. Well, the reason why it kind of lost its luster for me was I got it so that our little girl, could use it for her gymnastics practice when she's down here in the gym, because she's always like climbing up on the barbells and things like that. Well, the Iron Surge pull-up bar works great if I set it up. Okay, I was actually able to stand on it, but she set it up one day. I was upstairs, didn't realize that she was using it, and I heard her crash because she had fallen because she hadn't tightened it all the way. And so while there is obviously an element of user error, I just say, for me, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze, and we found other ways for her to do the pull-ups and all that other kind of stuff that she wants to do without having to worry about her falling. So for me, the Iron Surge pull-up bar was the thing that I had super high hopes for, but it ended up not quite being what it should be. That doesn't mean it won't work for somebody else. It just doesn't work for us. So for you, what was your most?
I kind of agree with that bar, to be quite honest. I haven't had any disappointment experiences other than with that bar. When she fell, that was enough for me on that one.
All right. So as we start to wrap up, what's a product, maybe we've had it for a while, that you plan to use more in 2025?
Going back to the treadmill. There are races that I'd like to get back into. Of course, your foundation with walking is going to help build your strength when it comes down to your legs, which is going to help you build your strength when it comes down to cycling. So again, I want to be able to utilize that treadmill a little bit more.
Okay. For me, again, I'm going to cheat. I can't narrow it down to just one thing. So my sand dune stepper, I realized I need to use that a lot more. I've come up with some scenarios where I can use it, and that's going to be a big help, I believe, in terms of helping to strengthen my knee. I just told you I don't use the cable stack tower enough, so I'm going to use it a lot more. And then in terms of recovery, I had gotten out of the habit of using my gravity boots, which are right here, and I realized I need to use these a lot more because they feel so awesome. They're really good for spinal decompression, especially since I'm squatting and deadlifting so much now. It just would feel great to be able to get my spine to just relax a little bit. It feels amazing. So the gravity boots, sand dune stepper, and this cable stack tower are going to be the things that I'm going to use more. Now, you see how she can't even keep her hands off this thing when you talk about how much she likes it? She constantly keeps on coming
I'll just
over
come in here and I'll just start
She can't help it.
pulling.
She can't even not use it while we're in the gym. But that's good. I'm glad that you like it. All right, so let's talk about the product that we're most excited for in 2025 as we wrap up.
So we do have a water rower to put together, but also the Blitz cycling.
Blitz spin bike.
Spin bike, yep, cycling is from Bells of Steel. I am excited for that. I cannot wait. I haven't had any disappointments with Bells of Steel, so I'm excited to see what that entails and how it's going to help with my progress in 2025.
All right, and so mine is kind of surprising probably to you guys, but the biggest thing on my mind for the coming year has been that our gym needs to be organized. So if you pan around, you see that we kind of got stuff all over the place in here. There are a lot of areas where we kind of just put stuff because it just needed to be out of the way. So like this whole area here does not make me happy. I'm not super satisfied with how we have things stored over here. This worked great for a while, but it's just a little bit disorganized. And then I'd like to just get all of our cable attachments in one spot. You see, we've run out of wall space, and so I've got some D handles just sitting over there on our floor glute ham raise. And then we've got these these attachments here. These what you call
The Holy Bar.
Yeah, I guess the Holy Bar or whatever. Basically, this bar from Gym Pen, it's like just we got all these bars and they're just attachments. They're just sitting on this shelf here. They're not supposed to be on there. They're actually supposed to be hanging on the wall. We got our attachments from 46 Fitness, and I just want to do better. So organization is a big deal for me. It's going to be our focus for 2025, and so I'm super excited about this vertical plate tree that we got from Bells of Steel. And so we actually had another vertical plate tree from Marcy, but we had so many bumper plates. I had my own, I had Living Fit bumper plates, and then my wife got a bunch of bumper plates from Rit Fit, and I ordered her some pink bumper plates from Fringe Sport. Well, we exceeded the weight limit of the old vertical plate tree, and we even still had plates on the floor. So when we got this plate tree, this vertical plate tree from Bells of Steel, like a week ago? Not even a week ago. We just got this a few days ago. We were able to separate it, so all my bumper plates are now on the other vertical plate tree, and it's actually out there because I don't use bumper plates as often. But we're able to put all my wife's bumper plates on this one plate tree. All of her bars are on the same plate tree. So all she has to do is just wheel it out to the middle of the room so that she can use whatever she wants to use, and then roll it back over there when she's done with it, and it's completely organized. But I'm super excited about this piece of equipment because of what it does for our ability to train safely here in the gym, especially since we are now starting to train together a lot more. So that's my most exciting thing. All right, so let's talk about in general for 2025. What are the things as we wrap up that you're looking forward to in terms of a focus for 2025? You were telling me about a vision board.
Yes, so I've done personal vision boards. I've done for career, personal, family-wise. But this year, I'm kind of looking at a vision board to include for Garage Gym Life, where I would like to see the trajectory to go in 2025. Also, to be more in front of the camera. Usually I'm behind the camera, so I'm probably would get over my shyness a little bit. Again, delving in a little bit deeper into technology, fitness technology, fitness tech, even when it comes down to videoing and live streaming, to get a little bit better on that one. So those are just some objectives, some goals that I'm starting to kind of weed through, study on, to be able to do more of that in the 2025.
All right. And for me, aside from organizing the gym, my focus is on improving our weekly live morning show. I want to get more and more guests coming in, guests that you guys want to see, and to turn it into even more of an interactive thing. We get more people who are comfortable joining in the conversation, because I'm super excited about where we're like, as we are shooting this, we're 48 episodes in now, and I'm really excited with what, Up Way Too Early with Garage Gym Life has become, and I'm excited for what it's going to be in 2025. So I thank you guys for watching this video, and I invite you, if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because you already see what we're talking about in terms of 2025, and I want you guys to come along for the ride. Happy New Year.